Check 1 2.
She look in my eyes and said, "Kiss we going." I said, "Where in France now we going to?" She said, "Kitchen boy, we going dancing. Joe give a party for me and you." As soon as we reached where she started drinking. She drink till she get as high as a kite. Wouldn't believe as we started dancing. Like a poet, she started to recite. She said, "Kids, I just don't know why I'm feeling so. I want it. Hold me round the waist, keep me well embraced. I want it. Boy, I must reveal that's the way I feel. I want it. Every word is true, all depends on you. I want it." There's so much rolling down Patrick Street. She boom boom rolling, she looking sweet. Men start losing a fella shout. Darling, where you from? She say I from south. And with the sweet refrain, she start to explain. It's the oil in the coil that I'm looking to. I want them from men and them to know. It's the oil in the coil. So to my man so good, we using oil with firewood. I've met with people trying to make confusion, trying to put violence against me. Some say for the poster and bliss with imitation, and how I try to sound just like me. But I would like to let those people know. For 14 long years, Baron did leave until 1979 is when I came on the scene. Then Baron came back in, but I don't sound like the Baron. For your information, the Baron does sound like me. So when I'm singing my tune, I know you're a sweet cool, not just being me. Me and a girl from Toronto, get double mass in Tobago, but all the time I didn't know. She never hear I tell it so. So as the band was passing, so my music was blasting. When she heard it, she turned to me and said, "I hear music on the street, love this melody, like the Davani in the beat, love this melody sweet. It had me dancing in the street, love this melody sweet. It have a message underneath, love this melody sweet. Bonje, Johnny, leve, seve, love this melody sweet.
One people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal, honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal, honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal, honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal. Honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal. Honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more more failed promises. We don't want no small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal. Honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want no small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot. Very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change.
finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal, honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian. Look at the state of the place and the economy. It's time we vote somebody in who really loves this country. Michaela Pandey, passionate and loyal, honest when she speaks, full of values and morals. So tell them other parties we don't want apologies. Michaela's policies bring opportunity and equality.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Big change for all are we. Big change for you and me. No more failed promises. We don't want a small change no more. New generation leader, Michaela Pandey, truly patriotic. She deal with equal rights and justice. She's for the people, yeah. True leader for the people, yeah.
Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange. Big change, big change. Patriotic front we bring change. Michaela bringing change. Time for the rearrange.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Vote Michaela. Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Michaela's a real patriot, very determined, focused, never complacent. Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now.
Can we please stand as we say a word of prayer? Ms. Bevan McCree.
Good evening, everyone. Almighty God, we acknowledge you as the creator of all things. Father, even as we commence this evening's proceeding, God, Lord, we place everything in your hand. Even as we gauge in meaningful conversation, God, we ask for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your guidance. Father, I ask for your grace, your protection, and your hand, and your favor in everything throughout this evening. Amen.
I ask that you remain standing as we sing the national anthem. Please be seated. So I have a few words to say before I introduce our guest speakers. Today I want to talk about the real power we hold, not just in our hands, but in our voices and in our votes. Every time we step into a voting booth or fill out a ballot, we make a decision about the kind of future we want for ourselves, our neighbors, and our children. It's easy to feel like one vote doesn't matter. That is untrue. But history proves otherwise. Elections have been decided by just a handful of votes. We've seen it. Local leaders, school policies, healthcare, even the safety of our neighborhood, they are shaped by the people we elect and the people we put in parliament. We have a say. When we stay informed, when we ask the necessary questions, and when we hold candidates accountable, we shape policies that directly impact our lives. We have a say. Affordable education, good jobs, safer streets, better healthcare. These should not be just slogans spat at us to manipulate us to vote in their favor. Their results we can demand and create by showing up, speaking out, and voting smart. We have a say. We don't have to wait for someone else to change things. We are the change. Let's use our vote, let's use our voice, let's use our vision to build a future that benefits all of us. Not just for today, but for generations to come. We have a say, and no one else should tell you otherwise. Thank you. So for our first guest speaker, tonight we are honored to welcome Kenrick Surratt, a passionate community advocate, creative professional, and tech enthusiast. From humble beginnings, Kenrick rose through resilience and faith, becoming one of the youngest preachers in his church and later serving in the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. He has dedicated his life to using his talents in graphic design, video editing, and social media to empower others. Now, as a proud member of the Patriotic Front, Kenrick is committed to serve people of San Fernando East with a vision of equity, opportunity, and social justice. Please join me in welcoming Kenrick Surratt.
This one is for all of the hard-working people, Jamaican people. Some don't know what it feels like. Be a work from 6 in the morning straight up to midnight.
Pleasant good night to Claxton B. Pleasant good night to Mr. Telston, fellow candidates, Danny, Sasha, so many, can't remember all the names. But pleasant good night to the community of Macaulay. Give yourself a round of applause for showing up tonight now. My name is Kenrick Surratt, the candidate for San Fernando East under the Patriotic Front, led by our esteemed Miss Makila Pandey. Now tonight we are here to be able to express ourselves, which is most important. A lot of issues that we deal with in our communities are exactly what we deal with across Trinidad and Tobago, most of us, correct? I want to personally address something that is dear to my heart, which is young people, because we are the future. It is an honor to stand before you today to speak about the issues that sit in the heart of our nation's future. The challenges facing the youths of Trinidad and Tobago. When we talk about youth, we're not just speaking about a demographic. We are talking about energy, innovation, resilience, and potential. Young people are the heartbeat of our nation's tomorrow, but often their paths are blocked by problems that feel too big, too complex, or too out of control. Today I want to highlight some of the most pressing issues facing our young people, and more importantly, how we as a society can build and begin to address them. Let us start with the first one: education and skill gap. Education. Trinidad and Tobago has made strong strides in providing access to education from primary to tertiary. But while high access relevance remains a concern, many students graduate without the skill they need to compete in today's world. We have students who are academically qualified but still not ready for the workplace. There's a growing gap between what is important in classroom and what is needed in real life. Whilst the digital literacy, financial responsibility, or entrepreneurial thinking, we must ask, Are we preparing our youths for exams, or are we preparing them for life? We need more investment in vocational training, mentorship, internship, and entrepreneurship programs that teach young people how to thrive, not just survive. Unemployment and economics. The second major issue is unemployment. Young people in Trinidad and Tobago are 2 or 3 times most likely to be unemployed than older adults. Even with degrees, many young people struggle to find jobs that match their qualifications. How many of us know someone that have credentials, but there's no job placements for them? Some are forced into paying or informal work, or informal work, while others become discouraged and stop looking altogether. The economic pressure doesn't just affect their wallets, it affects their mental health, their confidence, and their sense of purpose. It can also make some vulnerable to negative influences, whether that may be crime, drugs, or gangs, as a means of a source of escape or survival. We need strong policies that stand and support youth employment, encourage local business development, and attract industries that will invest in young talent. We have a lot of creatives in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of TikTokers, a lot of editors. Why isn't there institutions for things and individuals with such creative culture within them? Let us talk about crime and violence. The third issue, unfortunately, is one that we cannot ignore. The impact of crime and violence on our youth. Too many young people are both victims and perpetrators of violent crimes. They grow up in communities where gunshots are more familiar than opportunities. They become desensitized to fear, or worse, they begin to believe that crime is the only path to success or respect. This is not just a policying issue. This is a social issue. We must look at what drives a young person to pick up a weapon instead of a book. We need to invest in community-based programs, conflict resolution training, and positive role models. We need to rebuild a culture where life is valued and where every young person knows that they matter. What I'm about to speak on is the fourth point. And this just doesn't affect the young. It affects the middle age, it affects the older ones as well. Mental health and emotional well-being. Have you ever heard they speak on it or address issues? How much concern do they genuinely have when it comes to mental health? This fourth issue is mental health. Something we're all just beginning to talk about seriously in the Caribbean. Today, youth face immense pressure. Social media creates unrealistic standards. Am I right? Family problems, academic stress, financial worries, and personal trauma weighs heavily on their shoulders. But in our culture, mental health is still surrounded by stigma. Many young people suffer in silence because they are afraid to speak up. Some are even turned to self-harm or suicide as a last cry for help. We must create safe spaces in schools, in churches, community centers, where young people feel safe to talk about their emotions. Mental health care must be affordable, accessible, and most important, free of shame. Because mental health is just as important as physical health. Representation and voice. Let me ask you all a question tonight. How many of you all could say you all have proper representation? Whether it be a councillor, whether it be your MP, or maybe even by extension your government. Do we have proper representation? There is the issue of representation. Too often decisions about the future are made without the input that very people who live in that future are our youths. Young people are passionate about change. They care about climate justice, about fairness, about inclusion, but they often feel invisible in politics and policy making. If we want a stronger Trinidad and Tobago, we must create more avenues for youth to have a voice. Whether that's through young councils, student leadership, digital platforms, or national consultations, young people need to be heard and respected. They are not just leaders of tomorrow, they are leaders of today. So, what can we do? These problems may seem more overwhelming, but there is hope. As a society, we must make choices to invest in our youth, not just words, but with action. If you are a parent, listen closely to your children. If you are an educator, teach beyond textbook. If you are a policy maker, write policies with young people, not just for them. If you are a young person, know your voice and know your story. Your ideas have power. And before I close, I would just like to encourage everyone, as we move forward closer to that date, vote for the heart. Patriotic Front, it's a family. It's a family of inclusivity, transparency. Thank you very much. My name is Kenrick Surratt.
Let's give a round of applause for Kenrick Surratt, Patriotic Front candidate for San Fernando East. Tonight, I welcome another guest speaker, Mr. Amzad Mohammed, the Patriotic Front candidate for Tabakit. With over 35 years of experience in community service, he has built a strong reputation as a man of action and progress. Known for getting things done, he is now stepping forward to bring greater resources and development to the constituency. Please join me in giving Mr. Amzad Mohammed a hearty welcome, Patriotic Front candidate for Tabakit.
Give praise, children, yeah. Give praise. Give praise, children. Oh, Father, who has given us his arms that we can
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all our candidates throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening to the media, and good evening to all of the wonderful people of Trinidad and Tobago that might be viewing online. Thank you for being with us. I welcome all of you today who are from the Macaulay area, those from the Tabakit area. We are so happy to have you here today. We are glad that you are here because you want what? Change. What do you want? Change. And who can bring it? That's right. I have been asked this evening to speak on the topic of community development. What is a community? A community is a social unit that shares common characteristics, interests, and goals. But there are different kinds of communities. For example, you might have what is known as a geographic community. That is where people assemble together and they consider themselves part of a local community, much like what we have here today. We also have social communities, cultural communities, professional communities. In our modern time, we now have online communities. But the community that I want to talk about a little bit today is the neighborhood community. A neighborhood community is what we have here tonight. Residents of a particular neighborhood who have come together to address local issues, local problems, local difficulties and challenges that we face not only in Claxton Bay, not only in Tabakit, not only in San Fernando and in Port of Spain, that we face all over Trinidad and Tobago. If it's one thing, as all our candidates walk on the streets, the one common thing that we hear people say to us is that we need, because they are fed up. So in our communities, this is the way to bring change. When communities have an open mind, the possibilities are endless, because it is collective decisions that create the greatest change. And what really is elections? Elections is the opportunity once in 5 years to bring change. I am glad here today that there are so many of you who are outside here. Your presence indicates to us that you need change, and when do you need it? Now. You need it now. The greatest tragedy, however, the greatest tragedy in life is to possess a closed mind. I am sure all of the candidates have been faced what I have been faced with. What you doing here? You're only splitting the votes. But our leader has explained that a vote cannot be split. Each individual has a vote that belongs to all of us. That has been given to us by the fact that we are living in a democratic country. Your vote is yours. It cannot be split. And you can put it wherever you want. But I know tonight there's only one place you're going to put it, and that is in the heart. In the heart. A closed mind is one of the tragedies of our lifetime. Because when you possess a closed mind, what you really do is that you miss out on the unavoidable constant. What is the unavoidable constant? The unavoidable constant is change. The unavoidable constant is change. And our slogan is change, not exchange. So this is what we are all about. We are about bringing change in Trinidad and Tobago. This slogan about change, not exchange, comes from our leader herself, who desires excellence in governance in Trinidad and Tobago. The only place that change can actually take place is within our communities. This is the place to make the change. And this is the place to see the change. And we pledge, the Patriotic Front pledge, that the change that we will bring is a change that you will see. It is not an empty promise. It is not a pie in the sky. It is not a competition of promises. If you are aware of what's happening today, there is a competition of promises. If one say A and B, the other have to say more than that, because they feel that that is what will cause them to win the election. But the electorate in Trinidad and Tobago knows very well where we are and what can be done and what cannot be done. What do we want to do in our communities? We want to create opportunities for the jobless. We want to create safety from home invasions. We want better roads in our communities. We want better drainage. We want better infrastructure. We want to feel as though we are progressing in life. We want to feel as though year after year after year we are moving forward. People are saying to us on the streets as we walk, in the homes as we sit, they say to us, it is hopeless. We cannot pay our bills. We don't know how we send our children to school. Some people would say, listen, I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I have to say to them, I would like to serve you. I would like to help you. I would really like to do that. But the only way that I can do that is if you give me the opportunity to do that and to vote me in as the next MP of Tabakit. So that is what I am looking for. The needs are so many. For 62 years, you did not have a viable option in Tabakit, nor in Claxton Bay, nor in other parts of Trinidad and Tobago. But on the 28th of April, you can make the change. Do you really want another 5 years of unkept promises? You're sounding like if you're sure. No. Okay. Do you want another 5 years of corruption? No. Do you want another 5 years of mismanagement? No. Do you want another 5 years of indifference? No, we don't want it. What do you want? Do you want a representative who will work hard for you and create change? Yes or no? Yes. So on April 28th, I encourage you, there is only one place to put your vote. Put your vote in your heart, in this heart, and put your vote for this lady. I thank you.
I look around. What do I see? I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambitions, figments of our imagination.
Thank you, Mr. Amzad Mohammed, our Patriotic Front candidate for Tabakit. Please give him another round of applause. I now welcome someone, a dedicated public servant with a strong background in politics and national development. Sorry, let me just zoom up this. He began his political journey as the youth officer for the Pointe-a-Pierre constituency and later served as an executive member of the National Youth Arm of the United National Congress. With 16 years of experience in financial services sector and an MBA in digital technology management from the University of Bedfordshire, he brings expertise, passion, and commitment for building a better Trinidad and Tobago. Please welcome a proud member of the Patriotic Front, your candidate for Claxton Bay, Telston, Jagu.
Thank you very much. When Jinjin was introducing me, I thought we had our next speaker in line. Good afternoon to all gathered here today, ladies and gentlemen all, members of the media, and a special welcome to the political leader of this movement, Ms. Michaela Pandey. Also, I want to recognize some of my fellow candidates here today and those who, because they were out on the field, couldn't be here. Our winning slate of candidates for the April 28, 2025 general election. My name is Telston Jagu, and I am proud to stand here as the Patriotic Front's candidate for the Claxton Bay constituency. I am 35 years old, and I have lived in the Marabella Claxton Bay area all my life. And in this election, I am the only one of the three candidates asking for your vote who currently resides in this constituency. Living in this constituency, I know and experience the challenges we all face on a daily basis. As a community, we have been underrepresented and ignored for far too long. Despite being the economic backbone of Trinidad and Tobago, we have been ignored. For generations, Patriotic and its various incarnations has stood as a major economic driving force for Trinidad and Tobago. Yet we still face the issues of traffic gridlock, poor roads, poor infrastructure, severe flooding, decline in our economic activity in this area. For the last 15 years, this constituency has voted for a political party, the UNC. But how much better have they made our lives? Do you feel represented? Do you feel like your basic needs were being advocated for? Do you feel as if your representative and political party that they belong to have heard your cries? As a constituent and resident of the Claxton Bay constituency, my answer is no. In the last 15 years, I have, not for one day, seen my member of parliament or councillor in my area. Have you? Our team, the Claxton Bay management team, for the last few months have traversed this constituency, and it is unimaginable the destitute conditions some of our fellow citizens live under. In Springvale, no roads, just a dirt track, no water, no street lights, an abandoned early childhood center. Imagine that. In 2025, citizens have to suffer without water for weeks on end, like in Springvale and in Claxton Bay and in Soledad. We know, we've walked, we've met the constituents, all who have expressed those same sentiments. Yet, I ask, have you seen or heard your councillor or your member of parliament advocate on your behalf? Listen, on this Hermitage Road, this road from the Macaulay flyover straight to St. Margaret's Junction, the largest pothole in this constituency is in front of the MP's office. And it has been there for the last 9.5 years. So you telling me that MP going to your office once, maybe twice for the week, passing, seeing these conditions of these roads, driving on these roads, and not a tire burn, not a protest held, no advocating, and the people have to accept that as representation. In the last 9.5 years, ask yourself, what major projects or initiatives have been advocated for this constituency by those who have been elected to represent us? None. For the last 9.5 years, under a UNC representative and a PNM government, Claxton Bay has declined and nobody seems to care. My friends, we want to advocate for a better, stronger community. And when elected, I intend to work hard every single day to deliver for my community. Because we care and we will fight for this community. Here are some of the plans I have for this electoral district. Flower Pot Beach, popular attraction. Any day you pass, dozens of cars park up. We can revitalize the Flower Pot Beach with washroom facilities, vendor stalls, so that people can have paid washroom facilities. Vendor stalls that could help small businesses, and also we will encourage people to come and visit that beach. We can transform the Patriotic Yacht Club and the houses that have now become derelict, those Patriotic houses. We could convert them for commercial use to help boost the economy in this area. We can upgrade the Marabella and Prance Garden recreation grounds to ensure we have our communities engaged so that young people will be off the streets, and we can try to build a stronger community. We can implement retention ponds to end the constant flooding in this community. Lalu Trace last year had some of the worst flooding in this community. We went, we saw it, we know what it is they experience. I experience it, we all experience it. We can upgrade the Claxton Bay fishing facility and the Marabella market with an aim of expansion. And this is just the start. My friends, as a country and a people, we need representatives who will stand in the gap for the people that they represent. Gone are the days of worshiping politicians. Gone are the days where the needs and wants of a politician exceeds those of the people. As a country, we need to vote for our best interests and for the people who will stand shoulder to shoulder with us. I believe our slate of 37 candidates, the second highest number of candidates fielded by a political party in Trinidad and Tobago, will stand shoulder to shoulder with you and get up every single day to ensure we make our communities and country better. Many young people want to come forward to serve, but they are fearful, jaded. They do not want any part of our toxic political culture. We have seen what politicians of the past have done. We fear the mudslinging, the character assassinations, the criticisms and hate. Young people even hear the shameful attacks on our leader, Miss Michaela Pandey, simply for being her father's daughter. I say, be proud of your lineage. And listen, if I had a father like Basdeo Pandey, I talk about that man every day. We learn from those who inspire us. In this world, so many children choose to follow in the footsteps of their parents because their parents have inspired them. What is wrong with that? The Holy Bible in Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it." Ladies and gentlemen, I know of doctors whose children became doctors because their parents influenced them into wanting to be in that field so that they could help people, they could help their communities. The same, I know lawyers, teachers, engineers, public servants, businessmen, all whose children followed in their footsteps because they felt as though that is the way they could contribute. Nothing is wrong with that. So are you telling me that, and are you telling young people in particular that they should not follow their dreams, ambitions, or goals? Who are they to tell us what we should and shouldn't do? It is not uncommon for children, even in politics, to want to follow in the footsteps of their parents. It has happened in the United States with the Bush family, in Canada with the Trudeau family, in Trinidad and Tobago with Brian Manning. So to the young people, never let anyone tell you you cannot do something because of who your parents are. If your parent is a doctor, you can achieve what you want to achieve. If your father is a fisherman, you can ascend and become the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Never let anybody tell you you can't. Never let anyone tell you you cannot achieve what you want to achieve in this life because of where you were born or who you were born to. Never let desperate politicians or hateful people tell you not to pursue your dreams. You choose your path. You choose your destiny. And most of all, you choose who to vote for on April 28, 2025. Don't let anyone tell you that you should not vote for someone because of who their father is or dynasty politics, but rather vote for people who you believe will seek your interests. Not people who will fill their pockets, extort and ill-treat their supporters. Vote for people who will work for you, who will look out for you, people who will treat you with respect and dignity. Vote for people who can bring us together. Choose real people for real change. And on April 28th, I urge you. Claxton Bay, I urge you. Trinidad and Tobago, I urge you. Couva North, I urge you. Vote for a new generation of leaders who will lead our country into 2030 and beyond. A new generation of leaders with a bold vision for change through innovation and with new ideas, with collaboration, sincerity, but most of all, with heart. I thank you.
Patriotic candidate for Claxton Bay, Telston, Jagu. Now I move on to the woman of the hour. Tonight, we are honored to welcome Michaela Pandey, political leader of the Patriotic Front, a passionate advocate for unity, progress, and national development. Ms. Pandey has dedicated her career to building a brighter future for Trinidad and Tobago. Coming from a legacy of public service, she has charted her own path with a vision focused on empowering citizens, promoting equity, and inspiring collective action. Under her leadership, the Patriotic Front stands committed to restoring integrity and hope in our nation's politics. Please join me in welcoming a woman of passion, a woman of integrity, the woman for change, our political leader, Michaela Pandey.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now, the time is now. Big change, Patriotic Front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change, time for the rearrange. Big change, Patriotic Front, we bring change. Michaela bringing change, time for the rearrange.
Dip your finger if you want to make a change and support a leader who's a true humanitarian.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you so much for that very warm welcome. Well, after those speakers, I hope that I can stand up to the... Please sit. Mr. Surratt, you're always sitting down when I'm telling you to stand up. Thank you everyone. Good evening, Patriots. Those listening, both here and abroad, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, thank you for joining us. They said we could not do it, but here we are standing before you today, fielding 37 candidates on our own. The second highest amount without a coalition, and the only political party besides the current government out of the 18 contesting the 2025 general elections to fight 2 seats in Tobago. Good afternoon, Tobago. That is why they are so afraid. If they were not, why are they harassing my candidates? Why are they threatening them and offering them money to withdraw their candidacy? Why are they relentlessly trolling on social media with the only 2 lies they could make up? That PF will split the vote, and that I am being funded and my party is being funded by the PNM. Instead of telling people why to vote for you spending them time telling them why not to vote for me. Don't worry about me. I'm not going anywhere. I will deal with that shortly. But first, let me tell you why we are here. Our party, the Patriotic Front, emerged as a visionary initiative led by young Trinbagonians to dismantle the entrenched tribal politics that has maintained division within our nation for decades. Our party symbol, the heart, designed by the Honorable John Humphrey, signifies that we are patriots, united by love for country, standing at the front to fight for Trinidad and Tobago's future. For too long, our country has suffered under the weight of empty promises and outright lies. Both the government and the opposition have continuously failed to address our nation's most critical issues. Both parties talk big game about tackling crime, yet neither has taken the necessary steps to address the root causes of crime or to modernize our criminal justice system. Despite the passage of the DNA Act in 2009, when I served in Parliament, and I saw somebody saying that they never heard me debate. Go back into the archives, I was there. I debated the budget, the Children's Act, and raised numerous issues for my then constituency, Orapooch West. 16 years later, neither party has built the DNA database or developed the infrastructure required to enforce this vital legislation that would help fight crime. Where is the political will? And it is this failure to act on such fundamental issues that we in Trinidad and Tobago are seeing exposes a broader pattern of inaction. This administration has been in power for 10 years. And today, when you listen to their meetings, they are still promising you what they are going to do if they are elected for another 5 years. So in order for them to do anything, they are telling you, you have to elect them for 15 years. And we know what happens when the PNM goes in for 15 years. It turns into 30. The new Prime Minister, appointed to announce elections, speaks as if he was never there at all. Yet he held some of the highest ministerial posts over the last 10 years. He was called the Minister of Everything. He was the Minister of Energy, which saw the shutdown of a 100-year-old refinery. Could you imagine that? He was the Minister of National Security and a member of the National Security Council while crime continued to rise. He has chaired numerous committees, including the Finance Committee, the Energy Standing Committee, the Human Resource Committee, the Human Advisory Committee, the Committee of Privileges, and so much more. So this election, as I said before, he must answer to you on behalf of his party. That's what being a Prime Minister about. This is a party that closed down Caroni. Who closed down Caroni? And then they came again and closed down Patriotic, as if it belonged to them. Did they ask you? Did they consult with you? They left workers and their families on the breadline. And now they promise to deliver you everything they could not do in 10 years in 1 month. The opposition, my friends, they fare no better. I don't hate the UNC. How can I hate the UNC? My father founded the UNC. The difference is, this is not the party he founded. These politicians coming to you in the oppositions are making crazy promises all over the place. Where are they going to find the money? What happened, though? Let's forget of what they're going to do. What happened when they were in government? Ladies and gentlemen, despite holding a constitutional majority of 29 seats in the Parliament to the PNM's 12, understand what that means. They could have changed this country. I wanted them to change this country. I voted for them to change this country. But they did nothing to relieve and repeal the burdensome property tax. And they come in to tell you now when they go, they'll do it. Stop taking people for fools. They campaigned on axe the tax. The tax is strangling us now. The tax that they did not repeal. Instead, they took it and put it to sleep in a finance bill, hoping you wouldn't see. When they got into government, they kept it alive for this wicked PNM to enforce upon you. So they must take blame. They, like the PNM, this wicked PNM, left the farmers waiting on lands promised to them. You know how many of them died and never got it? Why did they not distribute the lands to the cane farmers? That land does not belong to them to share out like it's their own. And so this election, sisters and brothers, they too must answer. Now they are offering Cuba North lands to another constituency that does not belong to them. I will get that for you, brother. They say those who the gods wish to destroy, they first send mad. These people are crazy. But I cannot answer for them. What I can tell you is that the Patriotic Front government will directly address the daily struggles of our citizens. We will take back our communities from crime. We will create safe zones, bring working scanners to the ports. Don't buy them and put them aside. We will protect our borders. There's one OPV currently working. Well, guns, illegal guns, and drugs come into our ports. One working, and it's not functioning because it never has gas. We will launch fast-track courts. Open the courts. Morning, noon, night, weekend. We will introduce a program called Work for Change to give at-risk youth a real chance at life with training, jobs, and a future. No more talk, no more fear. It is time to take back our country, and we are not afraid. We will bring down the cost of living. Do you know just today how many messages and phone calls I got with people asking for food? They're not asking for money. They're not even asking for a house. They're asking for food. They cannot feed themselves. They cannot feed their children. A basic necessity of life. People in this country in 2025 do not have. And they want you to vote for them. We will remove VAT from essential food items and crack down on this price gouging. We will back our farmers with incentives and guaranteed prices so we grow more, import less, and eat cheaper. We will raise the minimum wage and not raise everything else at the same time so it's ineffective, and introduce what you call automatic cost of living adjustments for public sector workers. And we will use energy profits to keep fuel prices stable. No more pump shocks. I was in Cuba Hoover North, the constituency I'm representing. And the fisherman showed me how much fuel, petrol it takes for them to go out to sea, not knowing if they're going to catch anything. You know, they did not want to speak to me to tell me anything openly. They don't want to be videoed. One didn't want to tell me his name because he is afraid of victimization. And you know what was the worst part of it? He wasn't afraid of victimization from the government. He was afraid of victimization from the MPs. The same people they voted for. The same people that's supposed to protect them. They're afraid of them, that they will victimize them. This is about protecting families, protecting workers, and rebuilding the middle class. Sisters and brothers, we will modernize infrastructure and public services. All citizens will have first and foremost access to the basic necessities of life. Food, water, clothing, shelter, sanitation. Dr. Windsy Adams and I and a few others of our candidates from Laventille East and West were invited to see lots. We didn't go there like political prostitutes. They invited us and we went. And I'm proud today to say that besides my father, we are the only politicians who have ever walked and traversed the whole of sea lots. We were invited inside. That is the desperation of the people. Most of all, we will clean up government once and for all. That is my pledge to you. We are tired of the back and forth corruption talk, the accusations. One party points a finger and the other one says, well, don't blame me, you thief too. And our citizens, imagine when they go to vote without the Patriotic Front as a viable option, they themselves are saying, well, I go vote for this one, them thief less. You're not supposed to thief. We are not here to thief. We are here to serve. We are putting an end to who thief more politics and starting a new era of transparency and trust. So that when you see a politician, you don't cuss them, but you cross the road to shake the hand. This election is not about red or yellow. It is not about tribe. It is about one thing. Who can fix this country? But neither of them are interested in accountability and transparency. They are interested in the Patriotic Front. So let us confront a desperate tactic head on. I'm a straight shooter. The claim that supporting the Patriotic Front will split the UNC vote and hand victory to the PNM. They should be thinking we could also split the PNM vote. But more than that, you know what we thinking? Them better do split we vote. So come out and vote. Today I say to you, and I can't say it enough, no one, no political party, no leader owns your vote. The latest data from the EBC and the Central Statistical Office unequivocally demonstrates that when we add together the votes of the PNM and the UNC, they account for less than 50% of the electorate. Look at how many of you have a say. And if you come out and have a say, you'll wipe them off the map. In other words, almost half our citizens are not casting their ballots for any party. So what vote you talking about splitting? We not fighting for only 30%. We talking to the 70%. This striking statistic shows the narrative of split the vote is not only baseless, but it ignores the untapped potential of our democracy. That is why the young people stepping up to cast their ballots will be the catalyst for change. Do not regret it. On April 29th, we are doing our duty. You must do yours, not for us, but for yourself. Blaming the Patriotic Front for the others' failure to inspire and motivate new support is not the answer. We did not split the votes in 2015. What happened? We did not split the votes in 2020. What happened? So why can't they beat the PNM? That is for them to answer. Further, that the Patriotic Front is being funded by the PNM is nothing more than a desperate attempt to discourage you from voting for real change. It is a distraction, plain and simple, designed to shift focus away from their own failures and the growing momentum of the Patriotic Front. Tell me something. Do we look like we're being funded by the PNM? You see any Maxi outside? You see any Tassa? Any Moko Jumbi? No. Look at our campaign, then look at the UNC and PNM's campaign and ask yourself, who funded them? And what will the payback be if either of them win? Further, as I have said before, and I will say again, we are willing to open our accounts to scrutiny. Are they? They want to call me a PNM. Maybe when the leader purged the party, she purged its history and forgot that my beloved father fought against the PNM his entire life. A party that for over 20 years tried relentlessly to imprison him. And I will support the PNM. They should be ashamed of themselves. The stress and strain on my family were unimaginable and takes its toll on my mother to this day. So it is beyond belief to see members of the opposition who knew me growing up as a child stoop so low, especially now after my father's passing. But today I can stand up for myself and I will speak for my father. That said, we move on. Today I call upon every citizen to join us in demanding accountability and transparency and the real change. Reject divisive tactics, reject smear campaigns. You are smarter than that. They talk about legacy. Reject legacy of inaction. Let us build a future where our government truly works for you. Today we usher in a new era of progress, integrity, and hope. Today, I am proud to stand before you as a political leader of the Patriotic Front. Today, I am so proud of the young people, some of them here with us today, that have stood up to be counted. How dare you try to discourage them? How dare you do that? They have been in politics since High Street was a track and don't want to give anyone else a chance. No one has to give us a chance. We will make our own way. We are here today. We will be there on the 28th, and come the 29th, we will also be there. Today, I ask you on the 29th, in your moments of calm, think, what do you want for yourselves? What do you want for your children? What do you want for your grandchildren? Those of you who feel that your belly string, your navel string, burying a political party, whether it be the PNM or the UNC, who is going to look after them? These young people here. We give you that commitment. You have heard them speak, and we will be having more meetings. We ask you, come out in your constituencies. Listen to them. Hear what they have to say. We are not here to mudsling. We are here to talk about solutions and what we are going to do. On April 28th, vote for the Patriotic Front. Vote for change. Vote for the heart. I thank you, and God bless.
Patriots, front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Vote Michaela.
One country, one people, one future, our culture. The time is now. The time is now. Big change, big change. Patriotic Front, we bring change. Michaela, bring it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your political leader, Michaela Pandey. As we move closer to election day, remember this: politicians are nothing without us, nothing without the people. This country does not belong to the red or the yellow. It belongs to the red, the white, and the black. Your voice, your choice, so choose wisely. Choose leaders who serve, not just who seek power. Choose leaders who respect all people, not those who respect those of their same social rank. The electorate is not illiterate, and it is about time we put an end to politicians' blatant disrespect. Together we aspire, together we will achieve a better future for all of us. Thank you and good night.
patriots. Front, put up your hand if you are patriot. Patriot.